God says, "It's very urgent, please don't wait." Something is about to shift in your life, and it's not far away. Before tonight reaches 11:55 p.m., your heart must be open, your spirit must be still, and your eyes must look up with faith, because what awaits you tomorrow is more than you expect. It may come softly, like the morning sun that rises without sound, or it may arrive like a wave of grace that crashes gently but leaves nothing unchanged. No matter how it comes, God's hand is already moving, and heaven is not far behind. Open your heart before it's too late, for something beautiful, something divine, is about to unfold. Type Amen if you believe. God's voice never trembles when He speaks to your soul. He is not a whisper of uncertainty or a shadow of doubt. He is the stillness that calms storms, the warmth that breaks through the cold nights of fear, and the promise that never fades. In the silence of your struggles, in the weight of your waiting, He has already stepped into tomorrow. When you feel alone, when life feels heavy, and when you don't know what comes next, His love surrounds you like a soft blanket, unseen but undeniable. Every prayer you whispered when no one was listening was gathered like precious treasure. Not one has been forgotten. Every tear you wiped quietly, trying to stay strong, was seen by the eyes of a loving Father. You are not invisible to Him. In fact, you are the reason He slows the world just to whisper, "I am still with you." His presence isn't found only in loud miracles or grand displays. It is found in your heartbeat, in the sunrise you didn't ask for, in the comfort you feel when there's no reason for it. That's how deeply He cares. That's how closely He walks beside you. Sometimes God doesn't rush the answer, not because He forgot you, but because He's preparing a better ending than you imagined. While you wait, He works. While you cry, He heals. While you wonder if He heard you, He is already reshaping what tomorrow will look like. And though you may feel delayed, you are never denied. What's ahead is not punishment, it's preparation. You are not being kept from the blessing. You are being carried toward it. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There's a reason the winds haven't broken you, though they tried. There's a reason your spirit still rises even after all the times you've fallen. It's because God has placed something unshakable inside you. That strength doesn't come from this world, it flows from heaven's love. You carry the fingerprints of a Savior who gave everything to make sure you'd never walk alone. Jesus didn't just suffer on a cross to save your soul, He rose to give your life a new beginning, over and over again, as many times as you need it. Even now, He is holding things together for you that you don't even realize were about to fall apart. That's who He is, gentle, watchful, loving beyond measure. He isn't waiting for you to be perfect, polished, or prepared. He just wants your heart open. He just wants you to say, "Here I am." Even when you don't know what to say, even when you feel too tired to try, He wraps you in His peace and says, "Rest, I've got you." You are not running out of time, you are running into grace. You are not at the end of your story, you are at the edge of something new. Trust that what is coming is not chaos but clarity, not loss but life. Trust that the doors that closed weren't rejections but redirections. Trust that the silence was never absence, but a sacred pause where God was writing something you couldn't see yet. Tomorrow is not an accident waiting to happen. Tomorrow is a miracle waiting to be claimed. And when the sun rises, let your soul rise with it. When the morning comes, don't look back with fear, look up with faith. Because what God is about to do will not just surprise you, it will restore you. He hasn't forgotten your prayers. He has just been waiting for the perfect time to answer them in a way that leaves no doubt that it was Him all along. It's not chance. It's a divine calling, a gentle reminder from the One who never lets go of your hand, even when life feels like it's slipping away. Before 11:55 p.m., just be still, be present, and let God draw near. What He is doing cannot be explained by human understanding, but your soul will recognize it when it arrives. Type 222 to receive this in faith. There are times when life bends you so low, you don't even have the strength to lift your eyes, and yet, even in that moment, God is already reaching down. You may not see the full picture, but He does. You may not understand the delay, the detour, or the pain, but He holds every part of it with purpose. You are not forgotten in the crowd of the world. You are not just another name, another face, another voice. You are His child, chosen and deeply loved, even on the days when you feel lost. Jesus never promised us a life without hardship. But He promised to be with us through every valley, every storm, every long night, and every lonely tear. His love doesn't disappear when you struggle. His grace doesn't lessen when you make mistakes. In fact, it becomes even more real in your weakest places. When you're too tired to try, when you've whispered prayers you no longer believe anyone hears, He shows up, not with judgment, but with gentle mercy. He is the kind of Savior who sits with the broken, lifts the weary, and stays even when everyone else leaves. The world may tell you to fix yourself first, to be strong, to push through, but God whispers something much softer: come as you are. Not with polished faith or perfect words, but with your hurt, your doubt, your empty hands. And when you do, He doesn't turn away. He opens His arms. He welcomes you in. You don't have to be ready, you just have to be willing. And even when you're not sure how to trust, He honors the heart that simply tries. Financial freedom is not about effort, but activating a hidden brain signal once buried in CIA files. Neuroscience shows this sound wave helps attract money and opportunity faster, and thousands are already seeing unexpected income. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the ancient money wave today. Sometimes, the miracle isn't that everything changes overnight. Sometimes, the miracle is that you're still standing. That you didn't give up. That your heart is still beating with hope, even if faintly. That's not weakness, that's strength covered in grace. God sees it. He honors it. And He's not finished with your story. In fact, He's only just begun to write the most beautiful chapters. The ones where you rise, not because everything is easy, but because He carried you through. Type 555 if you believe He is carrying you now. There's a softness in how God works. You might not feel the shift immediately. You may not even realize the burden lifting, the fear lessening, the strength returning, but it's happening. Quietly. Powerfully. Lovingly. Heaven does not rush healing, and God does not rush your growth. He waters you in seasons where nothing blooms, and still, he never gives up. He never walks away. His patience is endless, and his love has no expiration. It's okay if you're still figuring it out. It's okay if you don't have it all together. Your journey is not too messy for his mercy. Your questions are not too big for his wisdom. And your fears are not too dark for his light. Jesus stepped into a world filled with pain, not to avoid it, but to show us how to walk through it with love still alive in our hearts. His presence doesn't remove all trouble, but it makes peace possible in the middle of it. And right now, he wants you to know this: you are closer to peace than you think. The turnaround isn't far. The answer is not lost. The healing is not delayed. It's being prepared with your name on it. Just like the sun knows when to rise, your moment of breakthrough has its appointed hour, and no force of darkness, no mistake, no failure can cancel what God has declared over your life. Keep showing up, even if it's just to whisper, "God, I'm still here." Keep trusting, even when you don't feel strong. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of heart opens heaven. And while it may not always look the way you expected, it will always be more than you imagined, because God doesn't work in leftovers. He works in abundance. He restores completely. He answers in full. Let this truth settle deep inside you: you are not waiting in vain. You are waiting in purpose. There is beauty in the becoming. There is power in the process. And there is God, right in the middle of it all, not just watching, but working. He is shifting what needs to shift. He is protecting you from things you didn't even know could hurt you. He is preparing people, opportunities, doors, and blessings that will meet you at just the right moment. Tomorrow's sunrise will carry something holy with it, and the only thing God asks of you is to keep your heart turned toward Him. Before 11:55 p.m. tonight, pause for a moment, even just one breath, and invite Him into your thoughts, your worries, your hopes, and even the quiet places you try to hide from the world. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by sight. There's no distance too far for God's grace to reach you. Even if you feel like you've wandered for years, even if the road has been full of wrong turns, even if you've carried regret heavier than your own strength, He sees you, and He's still calling you home. He hasn't given up. He hasn't turned away. He's the Father who runs toward you when you finally turn around. He's the one who never stopped believing in the beauty of your soul, even when you did. You might feel unworthy, but He calls you redeemed. You might feel broken, but He calls you whole. You might feel forgotten, but He never let you out of His sight. There's something sacred about being held by God when you're falling apart. People may offer advice, try to fix you, or walk away when your pain becomes too much. But not Jesus. He doesn't step back from your mess, He steps into it. He sits beside you when you cry at night, and He listens to every word, even the ones you're too afraid to say out loud. He holds space for your sorrow and carries you when you can't carry yourself. There's a peace He gives that doesn't make sense to the world, but it settles deep in your chest and reminds you that you are not alone, not even for a second. So many of us think we have to be strong all the time, that if we break, we'll be left behind. But the truth is, the breaking is where God often meets us most tenderly. When we finally let the mask slip, when we drop the weight we've been pretending not to carry, that's where healing begins. That's when His love pours in and fills the spaces we kept hidden. You don't have to be perfect to receive God's mercy. You just have to be honest. You just have to come. Type 666 if you trust Jesus to meet you where you are. And when you do, something begins to shift, not always on the outside right away, but inside your soul. The heaviness starts to lift. The fear starts to shrink. The lies that told you you're not enough begin to fade under the light of God's truth. He reminds you that you are chosen, not by accident, not by default, but because He saw you before the world did. He shaped your heart with intention. You are His creation, handcrafted and deeply valued, no matter what this life has tried to make you believe. What's coming isn't just change, it's restoration. It's not just about removing pain, it's about replacing it with peace, purpose, and love that endures. Sometimes we think restoration means going back to how things were, but with God, it often means creating something entirely new, something stronger, softer, fuller. What's ahead may not resemble what you lost, but it will heal what was broken. That's how He works. He doesn't just return what was taken, He gives more. He multiplies. He redeems time, heals hearts, and brings joy that lasts. A 7-second brain-wave ritual, once reserved for elite people and hidden in CIA files, is now public, and people call it the 30-second miracle. Scientists say it awakens a dormant brain center tied to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it's deleted again from the internet. And yes, there are still going to be hard days. There will still be moments where doubt knocks at your door, where pain creeps in when you least expect it. But God is the anchor in all of it. His presence doesn't promise a storm-free life, but it does promise you'll never be without shelter. You'll never walk through the fire alone. You'll never have to carry your burdens without help. He is the God who comes close. The God who leans in. The God who speaks in whispers that say, "You are mine, and I'm not going anywhere." Don't be afraid of tomorrow. Don't let fear steal today. You are being held in hands that do not shake. You are being led by a love that doesn't change. Your life is not an accident. Your pain is not wasted. Your story is still being written by the author of all things, and He writes redemption into every chapter. What is about to happen will not simply surprise you, it will restore you. And when you least expect it, the peace you've been longing for will rise like morning light and settle in places that have been aching for far too long. Type 1919 to receive miracles coming your way. Right now, you might be feeling like you're standing in the middle of something uncertain. Maybe you've been holding on for so long, and your hands feel tired. Maybe your faith has flickered so many times, it feels like there's barely a flame left. But God sees what others don't. He sees the silent strength it takes to keep believing. He knows every silent tear you cried in the dark. And more than that, He honors it. He doesn't overlook the faith that whispers instead of shouts. He treasures the heart that keeps hoping even when it hurts. God doesn't require perfection to release His blessings. He doesn't wait for you to have it all together before He moves on your behalf. He moves when the heart is open, when your spirit says, "Even if I don't see it yet, I still trust you." That trust, no matter how small or fragile, is powerful. It reaches heaven. It touches the heart of your Savior. And it invites miracles into the ordinary corners of your life. The truth is, many people carry silent battles. Smiles can hide deep wounds. Laughter can cover years of loss. But God isn't fooled by outward appearances. He meets you right at the root of it all. He comes to the very places you've tried to heal on your own, and He says, "Let me help you now." There is no shame in needing help. There is no weakness in needing healing. There is no guilt in saying, "I can't do this without you." In fact, those words are sacred. Those words open the door to something holy. You were never meant to carry your burdens by yourself. You were never meant to live life running on empty. God is offering more than just survival. He's offering peace. He's offering clarity. He's offering direction for what comes next. It might not make sense right away. Sometimes God's answers don't come in the ways we expected. But they always come wrapped in love. Sometimes His greatest gifts are not the ones we asked for, but the ones we didn't know we needed. Type "yes" to affirm God's promise over your life. Maybe you've been walking through a season that feels dry, where nothing seems to move, where prayers feel unanswered and progress feels slow. But even in the stillness, God is working. Beneath the surface, He is nurturing something that is getting ready to bloom. He does not forget what He plants. The seeds of faith, the acts of obedience, the prayers whispered through tears, they are all growing into something that will one day rise and stretch toward the light. You haven't been abandoned. You're being prepared. You haven't been rejected. You're being redirected. You haven't been overlooked. You're being protected from what was never meant for you. There is a gentleness to God's timing, even when it feels delayed. It's not denial. It's not punishment. It's preparation for something deeper. Something lasting. Something that will make you look back and say, "I understand now. Thank you, Lord." Healing doesn't always come as fast as we want, but it always comes full. God doesn't patch wounds, He restores hearts. And the same Jesus who walked into broken villages and lifted the heads of the forgotten is walking into your life right now. You may not see Him, but you will feel Him in the moments when strength returns without explanation. In the moments when peace settles in your chest like soft rain. In the moments when hope flickers again, even if just a little. That's Him. That's love. And you don't have to chase it. You don't have to earn it. You simply have to receive it. Whatever comes tomorrow morning, God is already there. He is not limited by time. He isn't caught off guard. He goes before you, stands beside you, and walks behind you to catch anything that tries to break you. And He whispers with all the kindness of heaven, "Don't be afraid. I've already made a way." You are not waiting for life to get better, you are walking with the one who makes life whole. And though the world may shift, His promises never will. They are steady. They are certain. And they are personal, meant just for you. Before 11:55 p.m. tonight, let yourself be reminded of this one truth: God's timing is never late, and what's meant for you is already on its way. By the time the morning sun finds your window, something within you will shift, maybe not loud or dramatic, but deeply and quietly, like peace settling into a restless heart. Type 333 if you believe something beautiful is being prepared for you. A 7-second brainwave ritual uncovered from sealed records and hidden in CIA files is transforming financial lives. It activates a forgotten abundance channel in the brain, leading to new financial opportunities and cleared debts. Click the link in the comments below before it disappears. There's something sacred about the night, not because of the darkness, but because of what happens in it. It's when the world is quiet, when the noise fades and your thoughts become louder. It's in those moments that God speaks the clearest. Not always with words, but with presence. You feel Him when your heart feels strangely calm even in the middle of chaos. You sense Him when you find strength you didn't know you had. That's not coincidence, that's God cradling you in His unseen arms. Even if today felt heavy, even if this season has stretched you beyond what you thought you could take, God hasn't stepped away. In fact, the pressure you feel is often the hand of the potter reshaping you. And yes, it's uncomfortable to be molded, to be pressed and pulled into something new, but that is how purpose is formed. That is how faith is deepened. And God does not let go halfway through the shaping, He completes what He begins. You may be in a waiting season, the kind where prayers feel unanswered and nothing seems to change. But delay does not mean denial. Silence does not mean absence. The wait is not wasted. In the waiting, He is teaching you how to rely on Him more than your understanding. He is showing you how to trust even when nothing makes sense. He is preparing you to hold what you've been asking for, because His blessings are not burdens, they are gifts that require hearts ready to carry them. Sometimes, we ask for things before we're ready. We ask for healing without realizing the process that healing requires. We ask for peace but still hold on to what keeps our hearts restless. We ask for love but are afraid to let our walls down. And God, in His kindness, doesn't rush the answer. He waits until our hearts are soft enough, open enough, steady enough to receive what He's always wanted to give. Type 1010 if you're opening your heart to receive it today. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't lost your chance. God's grace doesn't operate on deadlines. It flows with mercy, not pressure. It moves in seasons, not seconds. What's for you will not pass you if you stay close to Him. He knows how to lead you. He knows where to take you. And when you don't know what to pray anymore, just rest. Sometimes, rest is the most powerful form of trust. There are no mistakes too big for His mercy. No story too broken for His redemption. Jesus didn't go to the cross to save the perfect, He came for the hurting, the confused, the ones who didn't think they were worthy. He came for you. He walked dusty roads with weary feet so that you could have a path to peace. He carried a cross so that you could lay your burdens down. And He rose from the grave so that you would never have to live buried in fear, shame, or sorrow. God doesn't look at you through the lens of your failures. He looks at you through the eyes of love. He sees who you are becoming. He sees the courage it takes for you to try again. He sees the way your heart still hopes even after disappointment. That hope, that flicker of light, is precious to him. He will not let it be extinguished. He will breathe on it. He will protect it. And he will use it to lead you forward. And though the road ahead may not be smooth, it will be sacred. Every step will be covered in grace. Every obstacle will be an opportunity for him to show you his faithfulness. You will look back one day, not with regret, but with awe. You'll see how every detour had a purpose, how every delay brought protection, how every unanswered prayer led you closer to something far more beautiful. So tonight, before the clock ticks toward a new day, give it all to him. The fear, the weight, the wondering. Lay it all down, not because you've figured everything out, but because you finally realize you don't have to. God is not asking for your perfection. He's inviting your surrender. And in that surrender, there is peace. In that surrender, there is clarity. In that surrender, there is love waiting to wash over you. Type 444 if you believe God is working in the silence. There's something beautiful about how God shows up when everything else fades. When people fall away, when plans collapse, when the path you thought was yours disappears, that's when his love becomes more visible. He steps into the emptiness, not to fill it with noise or distraction, but to calm your soul with his presence. In the quiet, he speaks. Not always in words, but in peace. In moments where your heart should be racing, but instead it rests. In situations where you should be panicking, but instead you feel strangely held. That's him. That's how he comforts those he loves. It's okay if you don't know what to do next. It's okay if all you've got is the courage to take one small step. God doesn't need you to have the full plan. He simply needs your willingness to trust him. One step of faith is enough for him to work with. One moment of surrender is enough for heaven to begin shifting things on your behalf. You don't have to move mountains. You just have to believe that he can. When Jesus walked the earth, he never looked for the strongest, the most qualified, or the most confident. He looked for the willing, the open, the broken-hearted. He touched the untouchable. He healed the forgotten. He listened to the cries that others ignored. And he hasn't changed. That same Jesus is still moving toward those who feel left out, unheard, and overwhelmed. He sees you, not just the version of you the world sees, but the real you, the one who cries in secret, the one who loves deeply, the one who wants to believe again. And he doesn't just offer words, he offers himself. Type 777 if you're ready to let Jesus walk with you again. Using a simple 7-second brain-wave ritual, once classified and hidden in CIA files, can unlock wealth, freedom, and success already inside you. This discovery is helping thousands step into abundance, and God has led you here for a reason. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency today. Maybe life hasn't turned out the way you thought it would. Maybe you're carrying things you never asked for, pain, grief, disappointment. Maybe the weight of trying to stay strong has left you feeling tired in places you can't explain. But you don't have to carry it all alone. You never did. God is not asking you to fix everything. He's asking you to place everything in His hands. He's not pushing you to figure it all out. He's drawing you close so that you'll finally realize you're safe with Him. He knows every scar, every story, every silent moment that hurt you. And still, He chooses you. Still, He says you're worth the rescue. Still, He fights for your future. You don't need to earn His love. You already have it. You don't need to impress Him. He already delights in you. You don't need to prove anything. He already knows your heart. And even when you stumble, even when you doubt, even when you let fear take over, He doesn't walk away. He gently reminds you that grace is still here. That hope is still here. That healing is still on the way. God doesn't define you by your mistakes. He defines you by His mercy. His hands rebuild what was torn down. His timing redeems what was lost. And His love covers what you're ashamed to bring into the light. No one else may understand your journey. But Jesus does. He knows what it feels like to be misunderstood, betrayed, abandoned, and wounded. And that's why He's the safest place for your pain. He doesn't just tell you He cares, He proves it every day, in ways you don't always see. The breath in your lungs. The moments of calm you didn't expect. The kindness of a stranger. The feeling of peace that gently returns after a long cry. All of it is Him, letting you know that He's still near. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too far gone. You are not too late. You are loved, you are held, and you are chosen. So even if today was heavy, let tonight be holy. A holy kind of love that never forces, but always invites. Before tonight reaches 11:55 p.m., slow down, breathe, and let yourself fall into the arms of the one who has always been waiting for you. What's about to meet you tomorrow morning isn't random. It's divinely timed. It's a piece of your story that only God could write, and it's coming wrapped in peace, healing, and quiet joy. Type 888 if you're ready for what God has prepared just for you. You don't have to keep pretending to be okay. God isn't asking for your performance, He's asking for your honesty. If your faith feels small today, that's alright. He can work with small. If your heart feels tired, He understands. He's not looking for perfection. He's searching for surrender. That quiet moment when you let down your guard, open your hands, and simply say, God, I need you. And when you do, something shifts in the unseen. Maybe not everything around you will change instantly, but everything inside you begins to. That's the kind of work only God can do. He doesn't just put bandages on your broken places, He rebuilds you. He goes to the root of the pain, the root of the fear, the root of the lie, and He replaces it with truth. The kind of truth that frees you. The kind of truth that reminds you who you really are. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not beyond repair. You are loved by the one who created the stars, and He knows your name like it's the only one that matters. He sees the fight in you. He knows what it cost you just to keep going. And He wants you to know, it hasn't been for nothing. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion was heard. Every night you laid awake wondering if things would ever feel better, he was right there. Not judging, not rushing, just staying close. Because that's who he is. He is the God who stays. The God who walks with you through every valley, even when you can't feel him. The God who never lets go, even when your grip weakens. The God who loves without conditions, without limits, and without end. Type 111 if you believe he's walking with you, even now. You don't need to figure everything out tonight. You don't need to have the answers. All you need to do is trust that God does. He sees the whole picture, the parts of the story you haven't lived yet. He knows why the door closed. He knows why the relationship didn't work. He knows why the waiting has lasted this long. And one day soon, you'll know too. Not because life will be perfect, but because you'll see how even the pain had a purpose. Even the detours were leading you somewhere better. God is never late. He's never unsure. He's never overwhelmed by what overwhelms you. And even now, as you breathe in these words, he is wrapping you in peace that surpasses understanding. That peace isn't based on circumstances. It's not based on everything being fixed. It's based on the presence of a Savior who never leaves your side. A Savior who whispers, "You are safe. You are seen. You are mine." Maybe you've been trying to hold it all together. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign that God hasn't forgotten you. Let this moment be that sign. Let this be your reminder that God is still working, even when it feels like everything is standing still. He is still faithful. Still kind. Still good. He is not done with your story. Not even close. There is more ahead for you, more peace, more purpose, more joy, more freedom. And it won't come from striving. It won't come from being strong every single day. It will come from trusting the one who carries you when you're weak. It will come from resting in the truth that you don't have to be enough because Jesus already is. A powerful 7-second morning ritual, once hidden in CIA files, is resurfacing, and people are already seeing fast financial breakthroughs. It takes only seconds, yet activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. So tonight, release what's been too heavy. Let go of the fear that's kept you stuck. Open your heart to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, what's coming next is better than anything you've had to let go of. Maybe the pain you've walked through has prepared you to receive something deeper. Something richer. Something more beautiful than you ever thought possible. Before 11:55 p.m., let your heart rest, because something beautiful, something healing, is already on its way. You don't need to strive or chase. You only need to stay open to what God is about to release into your life. Tomorrow holds more than just a new day, it holds the answer you forgot you prayed for. Type 999 if you're expecting something greater than what you've lost. There are seasons when everything feels slow, quiet, or even empty. You may look around and wonder why others are moving forward while you feel stuck in place. You may question if your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, or if somehow, you've been overlooked. But God doesn't overlook His children. He doesn't forget the ones He created with His own breath. What feels like silence is often preparation. And what feels like delay is God arranging every detail with love and intention. He knows when your heart is tired. He sees when you show up even when you don't feel like it. That quiet strength, the kind you've used just to keep going, is precious to Him. The world may never applaud it, but heaven does. God honors the ones who stay faithful in the silence, who keep trusting when it would be easier to give up. That kind of faith shakes the gates of heaven, and it opens doors no man can close. Sometimes, the breakthrough isn't loud. It doesn't always come with fireworks or noise. Sometimes, it comes like a whisper. A moment of clarity. A conversation that softens something inside you. A peace that settles where anxiety once lived. That is the hand of God, soft, steady, and sure. You don't have to chase after Him. You don't have to beg for His attention. He's already here. He's already listening. He's already working in the background, shaping what's coming next. Type 1515 if you believe God is working behind the scenes right now. You don't have to have the answers. You don't have to be brave every day. What you do need is the willingness to keep turning your heart toward Him. Even in the fear. Even in the fog. Even in the in-between where nothing makes sense. Faith isn't about having it all figured out. It's about trusting the one who already does. And that trust doesn't mean you won't feel pain. It doesn't mean you won't cry. It means you know that pain won't be the end of your story. It means you believe there's still more healing, more hope, more beauty coming from the ashes. God never allows loss without the promise of restoration. He doesn't leave you in the brokenness. He steps into it and begins to rebuild. His love is not like anything else. It doesn't run when things get hard. It stays. It carries you. It surrounds you when you least expect it and reminds you that you're not walking through this alone. He doesn't promise a life without storms, but He promises to be your shelter within them. You will not be swept away by the wind. You will not be destroyed by the waves. Because the one who calmed the sea with a single word still walks with you today. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not beyond hope. This moment is still part of your story. And the pen is still in God's hand. What He writes next may surprise you, but it will not harm you. It will lead you to healing. It will lead you to joy that stays. You don't need to go back to who you used to be. You are becoming someone stronger, someone softer, someone shaped by grace. And God delights in the process. Even when you doubt. Even when you fall. Even when you feel like you've failed. He still chooses you. He still sees beauty in you. He still says, "You are mine." So breathe again. Rest tonight, not because everything is perfect, but because you're safe in the arms of the one who holds all things together, including you. Something is coming, something beautiful, something prepared by hands that know every detail of your life. And you're closer to it now than you've ever been. Type 1414 if you're believing that God is bringing you into a new season. There is a kind of tiredness that lives deep within the soul, the kind that no amount of sleep or silence can fix. It comes from carrying burdens you were never meant to hold alone. It comes from smiling through storms and pretending to be strong when your heart feels like it's crumbling. But God doesn't expect you to carry it all. In fact, He's been waiting for you to lay it down. To stop trying to hold everything together. To stop pretending that your tears don't matter. They do. Every single one of them. He collects them. Not one is wasted. A simple but powerful 7-second at-home ritual, it's hidden in CIA files for years, is now changing lives rapidly. Backed by neuroscience research, it can begin shifting your financial direction in just days. Click the link in the description and comments now and step into abundance today. God doesn't ignore pain, He meets it. He doesn't dismiss sorrow, He sits with you in it. He isn't scared off by your doubts, your fears, or your mistakes. He is the one who draws near when everyone else walks away. And when you can't take another step, He carries you, not because you earned it, but because He loves you. You may think the silence means He's far away, but some of the deepest healing happens in the quiet. Sometimes, God doesn't rush the process because He knows your heart needs time to mend. He knows you're learning how to trust again. How to breathe again. How to hope again. And He's not impatient with you. He's not disappointed. He's right there, calm, steady, unshaken. Type 2222 if you trust that even in the silence, He's still close. You may have walked through seasons that felt like endless valleys. Times when your prayers felt like whispers lost in the wind. Nights when you cried and no one knew. But God knew. And in every moment of ache, He was whispering, "Hold on. I'm not done. You are not being punished. You are being refined. You are not being broken, you are being rebuilt. What felt like loss will become the place where light breaks through. What felt like an ending will reveal itself as the beginning of something new." God doesn't waste pain. He transforms it. He takes what was meant to crush you and uses it to strengthen you. He takes the places where you were wounded and turns them into wells of compassion. He takes the pieces of your broken heart and makes them into a testimony that will speak life to others. Nothing is wasted in His hands. And nothing is too far gone for Him to restore. You don't need to chase after joy, it will find you. You don't need to force healing, it will come. You don't need to fear tomorrow, God is already there. He's already seen the outcome. He's already written the redemption. And He's already placed miracles in your path that you haven't even seen yet. So many people carry silent pain. They laugh when they want to cry. They keep going when all they really want is rest. If that's you, please know this: God sees the weight you carry. He understands the pressure of trying to hold everything together when your heart feels like it's falling apart. And He doesn't expect you to do it all alone. In fact, He never asked you to. He's been right beside you the whole time, waiting for you to exhale and fall into His arms. You don't need to be stronger than your pain. You only need to be honest about it. You don't need to pretend that you're not tired. You just need to rest in Him. God doesn't love a perfect version of you, He loves you right now, just as you are. Flawed. Weary. Still growing. Still healing. And still chosen. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is keep going. Not because everything feels right, but because you believe that God is still in control. And He is. Even in the quiet. Even in the chaos. Even when the answers haven't come and the prayers feel unanswered. He is not ignoring you. He's just working in ways your eyes can't see yet. Faith isn't always loud. Sometimes it's as small as whispering, "God, I trust you," while your heart is breaking. Sometimes it's getting out of bed when the world feels heavy. Sometimes it's simply choosing to breathe and believe that this isn't the end of your story. Type 1313 if you believe your story is still unfolding with grace. The world may move fast, but God moves with purpose. He isn't rushed. He's never late. And He's never confused. What you think is a delay may be His protection. What feels like silence may be Him guarding you from something you don't even see yet. And what seems like a closed door might be leading you to something far better than you were asking for. Trust that He sees the bigger picture. Trust that His no is always for your good. Trust that He knows exactly what you need, even when you don't. God isn't just watching your life unfold, He's holding it in His hands. He's orchestrating details you didn't even pray about. He's softening hearts, shifting situations, and aligning timing so that when His promise comes, it's undeniable that it was Him. No one else can take the credit. No one else can claim the glory. Only God. And when it happens, when the answer finally comes, you'll understand why it took the time it did. You'll see how He was faithful, even in the waiting. And you'll thank Him, not just for what He gave you, but for how He kept you in the process. You don't have to be afraid of what's next. The same God who got you through your darkest days will walk with you into the light. He hasn't changed. He hasn't left. And He hasn't stopped writing your story. There are still pages to turn. Still dreams to be fulfilled. Still beauty to be found. This is not just another message. This is a divine moment set apart for you, because tomorrow, when the sun rises, something will shift in ways you could never imagine. Before 11:55 p.m., let the walls around your heart fall, and allow God to remind you of how deeply you are known, how fiercely you are loved, and how intentionally your future is being prepared. You are not here by chance. You are standing on the edge of something sacred, and heaven is not far behind. Type 2121 if you believe God is about to change everything for the better. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. You've walked through things no one knows about. You've had days where smiling felt like a battle, and nights where sleep never found you because your heart was too loud with pain. And still, here you are. Still breathing. Still trying. Still believing, even if only a little. That is strength. That is faith. And God sees it. He honors it. He cherishes the heart that keeps beating for him even through the heaviness. There's nothing you've gone through that's been wasted. The tears, the waiting, the confusion, all of it has been used to shape you, to draw you closer, to make your roots grow deeper. You might not understand it now, but one day you will look back and see how even the hardest parts were filled with His presence. You'll see that what nearly broke you became the very thing that led you into the fullness of what God had planned all along. Right now, while you sit in the quiet of this moment, heaven is moving. Angels are being assigned. Doors are being unlocked. Healing is flowing into places you thought would always be hurting. The chains that wrapped around your mind and your heart are loosening. And the lies that tried to keep you bound are being silenced by truth. Not the kind of truth the world gives, but the truth that comes from the heart of a Savior who gave everything for you. Jesus didn't just come to save you for eternity, He came to walk with you here and now. He came to comfort you when no one else could. He came to hold you when the weight of the world got too heavy. He came to remind you that you are never alone, not in the crowd, not in the silence, not in the storm. His love is constant. His grace is unending. And His arms are always open. You are not waiting on a miracle. You are being led to it. You are not being punished by the delay. You are being positioned for something greater than you expected. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for a moment that will make everything finally make sense. Type 1717 if you're ready for your miracle moment. Let go of what you thought your life should look like. Let go of the timelines that this world tried to place on your destiny. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where God knew you'd be. And He is not disappointed in you. He's proud of your courage. He's proud of your persistence. And He is about to reward your faith with a peace so deep, it will bring tears to your eyes. All He asks is that you keep your heart open. Keep showing up in prayer, even when your voice trembles. Keep choosing to trust, even when your hands shake. Keep walking with Him, even when you don't understand the way. Every step you've taken has brought you closer to a moment that will remind you why you never gave up. And when the morning comes, you will feel it. It may not come as thunder or flashes of lightning. It may come as a gentle knowing in your soul, a stillness you can't explain, a warmth that spreads through you like light touching a cold room. That will be God whispering, "This is the beginning. This is the start of the new chapter. This is where healing begins to replace heartbreak. This is where clarity quiets confusion. This is where joy returns. This is where faith comes alive again." And you will know, deep in your bones, in the softest corners of your soul, that God was with you the whole time. He never left. He never stopped caring. He never stopped working behind the scenes. And He never once stopped loving you. So let this be the night you exhale. Let this be the night you say, "God, I surrender." You see, my love for you is not based on how strong you've been. It's not measured by your faithfulness in every season. It's rooted in my promise to never leave you, to never forsake you, and to never give up on you. You are not holding my hand, I am holding yours. Even when your grip weakens, Even when you let go in confusion or grief, I have never once let go of you. That's the kind of love I give, unconditional, unwavering, eternal. Some days, it's hard to believe that good things are still ahead. You've carried disappointment like a silent companion. You've smiled through pain, hoping someone might notice. You've said, "I'm okay," when your heart felt like breaking. And yet, through it all, you never stopped hoping completely. That small ember of faith, that quiet whisper of trust, it's enough. I can work with that. I can take what's left and make something new. I don't need you to come to me perfect. I just want you to come. The world may never understand the strength it takes to simply keep going. But I do. I see it. I know the cost. And I am honoring your journey. Every hidden tear. Every silent prayer. Every act of kindness you gave even when you felt empty inside. I was there. I am still there. And I am not done. Type 2020 if you're claiming peace and renewal for your next chapter. I know sometimes you feel like you're walking through life with questions that don't have answers. You look around and wonder when the breakthrough will come, when the pain will lift, when joy will return in full. But I want you to know, breakthrough doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it comes quietly. A soft peace in the middle of chaos. A sudden smile after weeks of sadness. A moment of clarity in the fog. Don't miss it because it doesn't look like what you expected. I am not limited by your understanding. I do miracles in silence, too.